OK, Dan, have a look through the papers this morning with European political commentator Nina Schick and A&E Dr Kishan Rees. Morning both once again. Kish, can we start with the Mail on Sunday, please? I was suffocating in the stampede, says this witness. This all to do with Parsons Green, of course. And that stampede actually was, we know from a lot of eyewitness reports, it was really pretty terrible.
Yeah, I mean, when these kind of things happen, the natural instinct is to run, and that's the advice that's given as well. But, you know, not that I'm a parent, but I can definitely relate to the parents that I see in A&E. A 13-year-old separated from Big Brother on the way to school, that's every parent's nightmare. And then to get suffocated in the stampede is just, it's horrendous. And, I mean, the thing that caught my eye was where it said the mental scars take time to heal. I think we've got to be really careful with these things. And what is it, 5 of these attacks in 6 months or something now?
Yes, yeah.
It takes so long. This will change people's lives for potentially forever. And it's just a case of making sure that the support is there that they need, the psychological support to make sure that they don't suffer for this in the longer term. Which, if it's not, there's a very real risk that they do.
Yeah, so well, and actually there's a lot of people involved. There's 30, I think, in total, isn't it? So even those with minor injuries or nothing particularly physical, maybe people who were just on the train weren't injured at all.
The psychological impact could be immense, and that's a hidden pain and suffering that you might not see. And, you know, people could present years down the line for something completely unrelated. So it takes careful consideration and taking histories from these patients in terms of finding out what might have happened in their past.
Well, that's a really interesting point. Let's have a look at the flying squad, or the new flying squad, in the Mail on Sunday.
Yeah, so I'm keen on tech, as you know, and I think if you can use drones in ways that save kind of police officers putting their lives on the line, I think that's got to be a positive thing. The interesting thing, there was a story a while ago where if somebody had a cardiac arrest in remote circumstances, you could send out a defibrillator and potentially save somebody's life, which I think is really interesting. The other angle on this story is, I don't know if you guys saw, there was a drone that went really near an aircraft the other day and flew into its wing. So yes, it needs to be lots of regulation around it and it needs to be safe, but the potential, even with Amazon Prime drone deliveries, you know, dropping stuff to your front door, this could absolutely revolutionise the way we live and work. So I think it's really, really interesting. It
is, isn't it? There will be people, of course, who'd say, well, actually, we want police to do things face-to-face. We want a lot more face-to-face interaction with our police, and this isn't a substitute.
Well, I think you've got to be careful that it's not used as a substitute and it's not used as a cost-cutting measure. But this would open up capabilities that potentially you wouldn't have. And I would have thought it's cheaper to do this than send a helicopter out.
I saw the drones being used outside Grenfell Tower in the days in the aftermath, before it was safe for only the fire brigade to go in the immediate aftermath. They were using drones and circling around the tower to try and get those angles in, which seems a very sensible use of a drone.
I mean, these people, in all these terrorist attacks, people put their lives on the line. And if technology can be used to help in incidents like this, then it's got to be a positive thing. Yeah,
love to know your thoughts on that. At Sky Stephen, at Sunrise Isabel, on the old Twitter, because it does seem old now. I wonder if they're going to invent something new.
Don't say that. So many people complain that, oh, you're always talking about Twitter. Still send a letter in to Sunrise.
Oh, that would be nice. I'd like to get a letter. It's been a while since we've had a letter.
Fan mail.
Send a letter in. Lovely. OK, we'll see you two in just a couple of minutes when we've got more papers for you. Let's look at, I love this story. It's the Eton of the East End, Kish.
Yeah, I think this is great. In terms of going to a state school, being written off in terms of you're not going to get the right GCSEs, you're not going to get the right A-levels, we don't think any medical schools will take an interest in you. I think this is really positive because for too long, it's been a situation where, oh, you're clever, go off and do medicine. And yes, you need to be bright, but you also need to have kind of skills and care in terms of communicating with people. So good luck to them. And if they want any advice in terms of their undergraduate medical training, I'd be happy to help them.
What's it called? We should give the school a shout-out.
Well, it's called the London Academy of Excellence, and it's set up to help people from a poorer background get into the top universities. Wow. In that sense, it's slightly slanted, isn't it? Because it is a sixth form full of very bright people.
Yeah. But I think it should be celebrated in terms of Waleed Sheikh is a lad who sadly opened his grades on BBC to find out they're lower than predicted. Why a headmaster would put anybody in that position, I have no idea, considering they know the grades beforehand. But then the exam board upgraded his grades to ABB, and he's off to Queen Mary University of London to read medicine, or foundation place for reading medicine.
I didn't know you could do
so
medicine
that's fantastic.
without straight A's.
No, I mean, it's changing. There are...
Is that a good thing?
Yeah, I think it's good in terms of it opens it up to other people that may make brilliant doctors. And yeah, I got 2 A's and a B, so it'd be completely hypocritical for me to say you need 3 A's. But yeah, potentially the worrying thing is we're seeing places in clearing. So traditionally medicine's oversubscribed. Now we're getting places in clearing. Is that because people are looking at it and thinking, well, I don't want to take on 100 grand's worth of debt and struggle in terms of paying conditions in the future?
Well, these lot are all going to be hugely successful.
Hope so.
Best of luck to all of them, I say. Especially if you ever end up doing my teeth or anything, then...
That's a dentist, isn't it?
But
Yeah,
they are going for
dentists.
dentists
Sorry, I
as
thought
well.
they were all going to be medics.
Look, here's a dentist.
And vets
They're going
as
to be
well.
max facts.
Here's a future dentist lady.
Oh, there you
There
go.
she is. I don't want dentures, thanks very much, madam. Lovely, we'll see you two a little bit later on. Let's get a check on the sports headlines with James.